The program you are about to hear is a production of the River's Edge Radio Network. The River's Edge can be heard 24 hours a day with the best in local Pittsburgh music at riversedgepgh.com. The River's Edge, your voice for local music. Enjoy the show.
Hi, this is Zach Bell, the station manager of WCAL, and I'm here to tell you about an upcoming event being sponsored by WCAL, the River's Edge Radio Network, and Placid Promotions. WCAL is proud to be sponsoring Heavy Metal Medicine 3, a free-to-the-public music and arts festival being held at the Menneson City Park Amphitheater on Saturday, April 23rd. This year's lineup features some of the best heavy music Pittsburgh has to offer, including Revival Recordings artist Cabaret Runaway, as well as Solarburn, Claymore, Only Flesh, Tartarus, Old Lords, Shadow of Corvus, and more. The festival is set to kick off at 1 p.m. on Saturday, April 23rd. Be sure to follow 919 WCAL and River's Edge Pittsburgh on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up to date with the latest festival information and artist interviews. Stay metal.
My guest in studio, they have a big release party coming up Saturday, March 19th, 5 p.m. at the Smiling Moose. We have Billy and James, Billy Lewis and James Kerwin of Cats in Congress.
Hello.
Hello. How are you guys doing today?
Very tired.
You guys made it all the way up. They made the trek from Johnstown.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Flood City, good old Flood City.
Any excuse to get out of Johnstown.
You know, that was one of our first interviews, actually, on the original podcast. Was we interviewed somebody from Flood City Music Festival,
Yeah, really?
and it was pretty sweet music festival you guys have going down there.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a
So
good time.
yeah, you guys, great band. I love listening to your guys' stuff. I was able to
Thank you.
check it out before the show, so we're yeah, it's pretty good. Really great stuff. And I gotta ask, Cats in Congress, or do either of you have a political bent that you came across this name, or
I realize that every indie band name is basically just an animal in a place.
okay?
And I just originally we were going to be Bears in Congress, but that had like 50 likes on Facebook. And I really don't want to.
It's a
I
big
didn't want
cease
to.
and desist letter right
I didn't
there.
want to. I didn't want to tread all over that. So, cats are fun. So cats.
Everyone
But
likes
the
cats.
Congress thing, there's no political
no.
interest at all.
No.
So you're not out there rallying for any particular candidate, or
I mean, not Trump.
not Trump, so
I mean,
anti-Trump.
I can't even say anything because I'm probably not going to vote.
Not gonna vote. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it gets to a point this election cycle where it's kind of one of those things. Who do you vote for? It's kind of
the best of a bad situation sort of deal.
it is. Yeah, it's like on one hand you have Trump, who, and I give him slack on the illegal immigration thing because I think people take him way out of context on that. But when it comes
Yeah.
to the Muslim situation, you're not taking him out of context on that.
yeah.
Not so much.
Yeah. So, but on the other side, you have Hillary, who's probably going to win. And you know, if you look
saw
up
that.
corruption in the dictionary, you see her big plasticky,
Grinning
clowny,
face.
grinning face right there. So, moving on from Congress, I'm excited about this show. The show you guys have on the 19th. Can you tell us a little bit about you guys, who you are, and about the EP that you're releasing?
All right. Well, we're Cats in Congress. Obviously, we are a 4-piece now from Johnstown. We started back in 2014. Yeah,
14.
I think it's what we wrote down on the
Yeah.
paper.
Sounds right.
We're like pop punky to the like early to mid 2000s pop punk, I'd say,
Yeah.
when it was not as emo as it is now with all the really just sad, disturbing vocals that we listened to the whole way up. But it's like I said, we started out as a 3-piece between a couple friends. I think I'm actually the only original member left
you
of the band. Gone through a couple rebrandings, a couple slight changes of genre, got a little more poppy.
Yeah.
Is that a difficult thing to go through when you change out band members? Is it hard to keep your fan base? Is it hard to grow?
We didn't have much of a fan base,
Okay.
so that wasn't that
So
hard.
that
but
wasn't hard, yeah.
it's just annoying because there's like a 3-month period where I had to. When James joined the band here, he joined about a
year
ago. He joined I gave him a week to learn like 40 minutes worth of music for that show.
We got a big show at Stage AE. You want to play? Like, yeah, sure. Okay, here's all the stuff.
So in like a 3-month period, I had to teach like 3 guitarists and like 2 bassists.
Yeah.
all our songs and then redo it, and and that was just annoying within itself. But besides that, it
come
wasn't
together well.
it wasn't much of a change, honestly.
I guess it's difficult trying to teach your original stuff because you can't just hand them like it's a cover song. There's tabs all over the internet. Like you actually have to sit down and.
Well, I'm sure it also does change, even if you try to teach them the new song, because different people bring in different personalities, different styles, everything else to the band. And I'm sure that's kind of an exciting thing for you guys as well, because you kind of get to offer something different and something new than what you've done before.
Yeah, I'd say so. It's James has brought in some stuff. He's written some new stuff over top of some of the older songs we've written, which I think is
slight changes, goofy. Yeah,
it's been good additions, I think.
Yeah.
Can talk to me a little bit about the EP. What's on the EP? What are you excited about to just kind of share to people that you're going to share to them on the 19th at the Smiling Moose?
Oh, well, it's a 5-song EP recorded by our friend Corey Perot, who actually lives
not too far from
here. Like 10-15 minutes from here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who does he work? Does he do it himself?
Did it all by himself.
Okay,
yeah,
nice.
And Brad Brunazzi, I can't pronounce his last name. He'll probably be
Something
very upset if he sees this.
Oh.
He's in the band Arcane Haven.
Okay.
Local band. He did all the mixing and mastering. It's just, like I said, 5 songs. I think we recorded over a year and a half, kicked people out, reformed the band, re-recorded everything.
Took a little bit.
The album title, we spent all our money on the EP, is just 1,000% true. But yeah, I think our live show has gone up to par with the recordings, how the recording sounds. So I think anybody that comes out to check it out is going to be, at least hopefully pleasantly, not even surprised, but just enjoy.
It'll be a
the
good
show.
time.
Yeah,
be a good time.
What kind of onstage performers are you guys? What different bands kind of have a different presence?
Billy is.
I'm sad.
He's a showman. I guess would be the word. He's like doing like flips off of drum kits and stuff. It's very.
So this is like a real.
He's honestly it's dynamic watching, like, because I'm kind of like on the stage. I'm like I can't top it, but
sure.
So it's always like exciting to see what he's gonna do next, and there's always that like little voice and be like, what if he hurts himself? Like we're gonna stop everything.
I have fallen off stage and almost broken my ankle a couple times, which was not fun at all. But
he puts it all out there, though.
But I mean, between there's a stark contrast between me and Jake.
Oh,
Jake, the bassist. He just stands there, just real stone face,
he's a mountain.
doesn't move at all. It's the polar opposite on stage. It's always a good time, though.
So when you come to see the performance March 19th at the Smiling Moose, you get to see Billy put his life on the line.
Oh yeah,
just to entertain you. So feel
regular Daredevil.
Your fans got to feel like really special about that, right? I mean, it's
I hope so.
This could be the last Cats in Congress concert. Billy could just bite the dust,
and you could say that like every concert.
Exactly.
I mean, that's like a good selling
it's a draw.
point.
Yeah.
Every show could be our last.
And they're raising the ticket prices right now on River Talk to cover the liabilities.
$11 to get in.
You're not gonna like do any flips in studio now, are you?
I'm in skinny jeans. I don't know how well that's.
Well, embarrassing for everybody.
Probably. So, tell us about the show. I mean, you have some interesting people. One thing I saw, you have Shadows of Society.
Yeah.
They're going to be at the performance, and they're on our network, riversedgepgh.com, powered by NJL WebTech, and also on our TuneIn radio station. So, and they're a great group, but they're very different from you guys. It's a very different group.
They're a little heavier than us, to say the least. Mm-hmm. But we played with them a couple times in the past. Cody has always just been a great guy. He actually goes to school with me and James. I see him around campus.
Yeah,
a good bit. He's
because we actually had a hard time getting in touch with them because originally, we both wanted to make this work, but my business partner was like, "No, we got to meet people in person. Can't do anything in the mail." And I'm like, I'm having a hard time getting this because he's out in IUP. And we finally were able to connect, and she finally relented. I broke her down, and like I said, look, I'm not getting people. So we allowed the mailing, and then we got them on. But definitely a good group. We love having them on here. And did you pick them in particular because they're different, or?
He actually sent me a Facebook message, which is how pretty much everything is done with bands anymore. But yeah, he just sent me a Facebook message. I think I might have sent him a message to see if he wanted to come to the show, and he asked if we still needed bands, and just we let him hop on right away.
Yeah, definitely. That's awesome. We have Billy and James of Cats in Congress here in studio on River Talk on the River's Edge Radio Network. being part of this organization now that you guys are on the station now, that was actually we teased that a little bit on our River Talk Extra. We said we're going to try and arm wrestle them into to joining the station and getting them on the network because we love the music.
Thank you.
What do you think something like the River's Edge does for local music? Do you think that this is something that could help? I don't know, bring people to the scene because I always see that there's so many people they don't. It actually is kind of stunning if you look behind you. There's different music festivals. The Strip District Music Festival, for example, last year had over 150 bands, comedians, and artists, and people say, there's no local music in Pittsburgh. We can't find any local music in Pittsburgh. Where is the local music? It's not like it used to be. Well, I don't know what else needs to be done.
People not looking. I think something like this, the people that will watch these local radio, local TV, stuff like that, they're the people that are going to go to the shows. So I think stuff like this is really important to keeping that community, that spirit alive, because like it's a very good way to find out about what's going on locally and in your town. So
yeah, and what it comes down to really is any people that I always talk to, oh, do you want to go to a local show? I don't really know any of the bands. I mean,
that's the idea.
This is how you get to know them. Yeah, it's you gotta either look them up online, see what they're about. I'm sure they have a demo or some kind of.
Well, that kills me. How do you expect to know local bands if you're not willing to go?
Yeah.
And I don't understand why people always want to hear the same music. That's one thing that I never understood. I mean, sure, it's nice to hear Come On Eileen comes on the radio with me, and that's when I'm blasting the radio, eardrums bursting because that's one of my favorite songs.
But if you had to listen to it for the rest of your life,
I like to expose myself to new music and hear new things, and to listen to the same stuff. I mean, especially on traditional radio nowadays, you hear the same song every hour.
Yeah.
And I know, personally, there's songs that I liked when I first heard them, and I have come to hate them and despise them because I've heard them so much. And there's one particular talk program that was a mix of talk and music, and I actually hated the music aspect of it because you heard the same stuff. You could actually predict the next song that was coming up because it was the same song every single week.
Jeez.
And so I don't know. To me, is that people need to expose themselves to new music, and I
absolutely
don't understand how you can grow even as a person if you're not going to expose yourself to new forms of
things,
music.
Ideas,
and
yeah, it's ridiculous.
So where have you guys played besides the Smiling Moose? Are you guys playing Pittsburgh often? Or?
Yeah, we try to play in Pittsburgh as much as we can.
It's definitely
we played
scene that's closest to us.
Yeah, we played the Roboto Project a few times. Yeah, we played Stage AE. Stage AE was his first show.
Really, that's cool. Where did you play, inside or outside?
Yeah, we played the club inside.
Yeah, I really liked that. That was great.
Where else? We played Club Diesel once or twice.
Yeah, Diesel. That was that the
how was that? I imagine that would be weird to play at Diesel.
It was pretty cool, actually.
Was it?
It's a really nice setup. The stage is elevated. It's pretty
so they had you guys set up for a band because when I imagine Diesel, I think the club atmosphere, and I'm thinking that would be a hard crowd to really capture because they're just in their zone and grinding and everything else.
I think the show we played was an anti-prom, anti-formal,
it was
something
called,
like that.
It's called Informal.
Informal.
It's
that's
a thing.
What it
it's
is.
a show. Mosh Pit Promotions puts on every. I think they put on.
They put up on one, not two.
Yeah.
Soon or not
too
far
long
away
ago,
from
yeah.
that.
Yeah. They put it on
now.
every 2 or 3 a year, I think. And they're actually who's sponsoring our EP show too. They're great people, but they had it set up specifically for bands. I think there's 7 or 8 bands.
Yeah,
that played
there
just,
were a good
throughout
amount.
The day.
Yeah,
it was a good time.
It was, yeah. A lot of really good musicians there that day.
Yeah,
I was impressed.
So when did Cats in Congress form? When did you guys form the band? The original band.
I think it was November of 2014.
14. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's a
been
couple years now.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So what's the weirdest venue you've played in?
Oh wait, is it? What is?
Which one do you think?
Dead Horse Cantina.
Oh,
I didn't play there, but I've heard the story of.
Yeah,
that just sounds like an interesting venue. What?
That's actually in Pittsburgh.
Okay,
really?
Yeah, we opened for Saving Abel there.
Okay, where is that at in Pittsburgh?
I don't even remember. Honestly,
I gotta Google this. Dead Horse Cantina. Tell me, why was it weird?
Someone offered me meth.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
someone offered me meth. Someone tried to take our drummer into the bath. Two girls tried to take our drummer into the bathroom. I remember.
Was it Forrest? Or
Yeah, that was
someone
Forrest.
else? It was Forrest. Wow.
It was in a very committed relationship at the time.
Oh, it's permanently closed now. It was in McKees Rocks, so it was just outside the city, technically.
Okay.
See, people in Pittsburgh are like really weird about that. Like,
Yeah.
like I live in Millville. Okay, I technically don't live in the city. I live closer to downtown. Like, I can walk downtown
Yeah.
in less than an hour. I could bike ride downtown Pittsburgh in 15 minutes. But people will snub me, be like, "Yo, you don't live in the city. You live in Millville." But people who live in Squirrel Hill live like 3 times the distance to downtown.
Yeah.
But
That's Pittsburgh.
That's the city. Yeah.
Johnstown's almost the same way, except exactly the opposite.
Exactly like that, but not at all.
Oh.
It's the exact. It's like the polar opposite of that. Like I live almost like 30-40 minutes outside Johnstown.
Yeah.
And if anyone asks, like, "Oh, do you live in John?" It's like a real small city. But where do you live? Southwark. Oh, you live in Johnstown? Sure, dude. I live closer to Altoona than Johnstown, but sure, I live in Johnstown.
Well, it's bizarre because in Pittsburgh, I mean, I grew up in Westmoreland County and right in North Huntington, and that's really Allegheny County should merge with the city. It should all be one Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And it really makes sense that way. Like where I lived in North Huntington was really a suburban area. We considered ourselves from Pittsburgh. Like if we went out of town and people said, "Hey, where are you from?" We didn't say, "Oh, we're from North Irwin," because they're just going to scratch their head and look at you like, "What the hell is North Irwin?" Because North Irwin, literally, the entire town is a hill. I mean, it's the smallest town ever. They don't even have a gas station or a convenience store. So, we say we're from Pittsburgh. I started working downtown, actually in the Strip District, and I told people I'm from, North Huntington, and everyone goes, "Oh, you're from out in the country. You're from out in the country." Like, I'm out there in, like, Hickville with, like, cows.
Middle of nowhere.
Yeah, tumbleweeds coming through. And it's like, no, this is, like, suburbia. This is, like, almost, like, Stepford Wives, like, vision. And everyone's like, "Oh, you live out in the country." And then, I moved from Jeanette, where I was living at the time, to Robinson. And Robinson's Pittsburgh, right? I mean, it's got a 152 zip code. According to the post office, that's the city.
Pittsburgh.
So, I tell people I moved to Robinson, and the people at work goes, "Oh, you moved all the way out there."
What?
Like, all the way out there. Yeah, like, without traffic, I can get downtown in 15 minutes. How is that all the way out there?
As we make our 2-hour drive in.
Yeah, unless you, like, live in the city, people act like you live, like, this, like, far-off place.
There's no middle ground.
I mean,
Yeah, it's...
depending on when you ask, like some of our friends from Johnstown, though, too. I'm sure they would say, "Oh yeah, we're from Pittsburgh."
Yeah.
Sure, yeah,
But yeah,
because
like,
it's the regional city.
Exactly.
It's Western Pennsylvania.
But
Yes.
especially, when I can drive to the park and ride and get downtown in a half hour, I mean, that's... you know what I mean? Like, all of Allegheny County is probably smaller than New York City, so it's just, it's just mind-boggling. It's just mind-boggling to me how people... And really, it's interesting. Pittsburgh originally was growing. Like, the North Side was its own separate city.
Oh, really?
That was actually, if you go to the north side, you'll see things called Allegheny. They'll call the area Allegheny, and the reason why is it was originally Allegheny City. Pittsburgh annexed that city, and they were annexing different communities around the city. So Millville would have been annexed, but the state actually came in and said, no more annexing, which I don't know why, because honestly,
I mean, at that point,
getting back to Congress, since you guys are the cats in Congress, if you are a larger city, you actually qualify for more federal funds. So it actually would help the entire area out
that makes sense.
if it was merged. Yeah. So have you ever been to Congress? Have you ever been to Harrisburg or?
Actually, I went to Shippensburg for a year, so I lived right out there. The closest Guitar Center was actually in Harrisburg, so I used to go down there a good bit.
Okay, have you ever been inside the Capitol?
No.
Oh, you got to check it out. It's actually one of the more beautiful capitals.
It is nice.
Yeah,
I did Scholastic quiz in high school because I'm a nerd.
Nerd.
And we made like the state something or another. I can't remember now, but yeah, it was hosted in, like, I think it was the Senate building or something there. It is. You walk in and it's like, wow, look, it's giant domes and just really, really cool.
Yeah, it's
Definitely worth seeing.
impressive. They waste a lot of money there. They actually have a house barber that only cuts the hair of Congress members.
Really?
Yes, House members specifically.
Isn't the Barbin?
Gap?
Yeah, Mr. Barbin.
Oh.
His dad. I think his dad's in the state senate actually.
No.
He's a state
Well,
representative.
he would not be allowed to use the house barber because he's not a House member. He's a Senate member.
Dang it.
He's not allowed to use the house barber. No,
It's only
absolutely
for the
not.
Senate.
Cats in Congress, showing off our political knowledge.
Yes, right there. So, how do you guys fund your band? Do you borrow money from China?
Hopefully.
So you're
If they would give us money, I would take the money.
so you're in debt to China.
Yen. We're all in debt to China.
Oh, yes, that is true. That is true.
Once dictator Trump takes over, we won't have to worry about our debt to China. So it's
No,
fine.
he has
He'll
promised
take care of
to
it
he's
for
promised to cut a deal. He's promised to make a good deal.
He
a
wrote
deal
the
we're
art of
not-
the deal.
And actually, you know what? In his defense, he is right about that. We always lose. We always lose to everyone. I mean, they wiped the floor with us. I mean, hell, even look at the Iran deal. They had hostages over in Iran, and we didn't even get our own people back in the Iran deal. I mean,
Little
we just
important.
lose to everyone. It's awful.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of depressing if you think about it. I mean, you have hostages over there, and you're a first world nation dealing with this like third world nation, and you can't even get your people back. I
Well,
mean,
imagine you're the hostage. You're like, oh, they'll get us out of here.
Benjamin Franklin's probably rolling in his
not
grave.
happy.
Yeah. So I'm excited. So tell us a little bit more about the show. What kind of like a last push? Why should people come out? Why should they see the show? Who are some of the other bands playing there?
I know. Shadows of Society's playing, obviously.
Yeah, we talked.
Yes.
We have
Cameron's.
Cameron Taylor's
Yeah,
playing.
yeah.
Yeah, Cameron Taylor. He's an acoustic guy. He's a real
Okay.
cool guy.
I
Nice.
think there's another acoustic act on there.
I'm totally not
Define
looking.
Irony? Are they still on the bill?
Yeah, Define Irony's on the bill. They're real cool guys too. Ryan McMahon. He's in that band. He's done photos for us before. He's a real nice guy. They're a solid band all around.
Yeah, honestly.
And Joey Connor is the other one. There's my phone.
That's nice. Yep,
Broken
iPhone
screen.
shattered.
Yeah.
I dropped this phone seriously like 5
That's the nice thing
times
about
a day. I
iPhones.
don't-
They are really like robust.
Yeah, it's always the small drops though. Like I'll drop it
You
on
can
my
drop it
couch.
off like a
I'll throw it
seal.
on my couch later, and the screen's gonna pop out.
For some
Yeah.
reason.
Well, you know what? Like I had an iPhone, and I used to be when my job in the strip district, I was a delivery driver, and I was in a box truck, and I always would put the phone right here so I could like at stop signs kind of like look
Yeah,
down to
yeah.
see what's going on. So which I know it's big taboos
Don't text
looking,
and drive.
looking at the phone. I mean, I didn't do it while I was driving. It was
all
at the
right.
red lights, and I think that's perfectly okay. And I don't care what anyone says. I don't really care what the
Reporting
cats
you.
in Congress say. We need to pass laws that say, you're at the stop sign, you're just sitting there wasting your time, you can look at your email. I mean, it's not like you're doing it while you're driving. you know?
Yeah.
People are going to
Going-
honk at you
going
because people are
75
assholes.
down the
So.
highway or something like that.
Yeah, those people are assholes. But honestly, you're sitting at the red light. Now, if you're like too big of a douche to like pay attention to the light and keep looking up, then yeah, you should
Well,
get
then-
fined.
I mean,
but
if you wait more than 2 seconds, though, I'm sure someone's gonna beep at you.
oh, they
anyways.
will. People
Well,
are
especially
assholes in the city. Yeah. So, but yeah, no, I would set it here and I would get out of the box truck and I would scoot it and it would fall. But like the box, have you ever been in a box truck? Like you're high up. It's almost like a tractor trailer. It's not quite as high, but it's like much higher than the average truck you could buy, or even like a bigger truck. You're high off the ground, so it's dropping like 4 feet every time onto cement.
Oh,
and
no,
I
dude.
dropped it like more times than I could count. And eventually, I mean, I must have dropped it 15, 20 times like that before it
Yeah.
finally got a small crack. And then eventually the screen shattered. But that was the only time where I couldn't complain.
Yeah.
Because like I beat the
held up,
hell out of
yeah.
that thing, and it never had a case. I never even had a case on the thing,
Yeah.
That's
and
living
it
on the
lasted
wild
that
side.
long.
I did used to have an outer box on this thing, but that actually
Yeah, I got armor
broke,
on this
actually,
one.
I broke my outer box off.
Oh, really? This one's
Yeah.
starting to break. It's cracking here. But you know what? OtterBox has gotten better. Like, look at this. It's
Yeah.
slim.
Yeah.
Look at this. Very good. OtterBox.
Yeah, compared to
Otterbox
like
give us
the
money.
And-
box that it used to be.
Yeah, it used to be. Like, I remember when I had an iPhone, it like tripled the size of the phone. It was like holding a
Can't put it in your
brick.
pocket.
No, yeah. Like, now this is like, real slim. It doesn't even have the thing around it. So, OtterBox. RiversEdgePGH.com. Brian Crawford at RiversEdgePGH.com. Send us
Give us money.
some information. Yeah, we'll be a
Dollars.
sponsor right here. Good plug right for the OtterBox. It really works. It really does. I mean, I could like chuck this thing across the room. In fact, I will chuck it across the room. It's completely fine.
Your screen came out.
Well,
Dang it.
that's not looking.
No screen
Yeah, that's not looking good now. Yeah.
Cut.
Oh, well. So yeah, but don't throw your phones at the stage at the concert. Just go and enjoy. Let Billy do all of the dangerous work
Antics.
and don't try his antics at home. Yes. So
don't do
yeah,
it.
looking forward to it, guys. It's going to be March 19th, 5 p.m. at the Smiling Moose, which is right in the South Side. So go check it out. And then if you're down in Johnstown, I'm sure you guys play down there as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah. So
Not so
alright.
much recently.
They don't like original music.
Yeah.
They don't like
pretty-
original music in Johnstown. How do they get away with the Flood City Music Festival then, or is that all covers?
A lot of covers.
A lot of covers and I don't know. Yeah.
If you're willing to if you're willing to cover AC/DC and Led Zeppelin for a couple hours,
I
you
will.
get a
I
lot of
will
shows.
cover Led Zeppelin.
Are you guys playing Freebird? At the event.
He had.
He has, okay.
It got to the point people just yell at it, like in a couple hours, like, play Freebird. Like, I'm actually gonna learn Freebird one day, and
play it.
now
yes.
people are like, "Wow, you actually did it."
Yeah, that's pretty badass. But no, that's what we like. We like the original music here, so keep that going. And really good stuff from Cats in Congress. This is Billy and James. I'm Brian for the River's Edge. Stay tuned.